So one of the great joys of my life is being part of the Skinny 60 community and getting to lead our 60-day reset throughout the year with an extraordinary team of dietitians. And last week in episode 18, you got to meet Megan Donnelly, our lead dietitian, and we talked about gut health and digestion, and she gave so many fantastic strategies to improve overall health. So you got a little bit of insight into the health coaching that we provide and our approach and the personalized nutrition solutions that we give to participants as part of the 60-day reset. And today, I'm going to give you a little bit of a taste of our community because that's the secret sauce of our program. So, yes, we experience the most extraordinary health transformations throughout the cycle, but watching a group of people from all over the world come together and begin as strangers and then realize that we are more alike than we are different, and then seeing everybody elevate and celebrate each other, come together, support each other, and everybody reaching their health goals together, it's pretty magical. And seeing the flow-on effect of what better food and lifestyle choices does for the rest of your life, how it opens you up and opens up the possibilities for your life. So in episode 9, I spoke to 3 members of our community, Sharen, Penny, and Stephanie, about what they're doing to thrive in their 50s and make menopause the best years of their life. And so I got so many messages after that episode from people saying, I was so inspired by them. It's unbelievable. But what about women in their 60s, in their 70s, in their 80s? Can you talk to those kind of women? And so today, we are celebrating 3 women in their 60s, Sharen, Debbie, and Jan, and how they have used the 60-day reset to empower themselves in every other part of their lives, that it is not all downhill once you reach the age of 60, that 60 can be the best years of your life. So I think you are just going to be so inspired listening to these women. So let's get the skinny from Debbie, Jan, and Sharen. Oh, thank you for joining me. I am so excited to be here with the 3 of you because you just are so inspiring to me about how I want to be in my 60s and beyond, just trying new things, constantly wanting to be better and being open to learning and growing and discovering things about yourself. So you are 3 of the most beloved members of our community and really hanging a shiny lantern for the other women about what our 60s can be like. You know, we're given some myths about aging, that it's all downhill from here. And you are beacons of hope that it can absolutely be the most glorious years of your life. So I want to start with you, Sharen, about how you entered the community because you came in through the 7-day kickstart and you were skeptical.
Very.
So tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, there had been several years post-menopause, gaining weight, and I'd go up and down, sometimes lose weight, then gain it, feeling sluggish. And I felt a little bit like Betty Friedan on, is this all there is? No reasons. Is this it? Or like the movie As Good as It Gets. What if this is as good as it gets? It's not good. you know,
Yeah.
Right.
I just felt like, I'm young and I feel old, and I didn't like that. But I couldn't get myself out of that hole. And with the dietary thing being a billion-dollar industry,
Yeah.
I've never met anyone who did a pre-packaged meal plan who said, I'm so thrilled to be on that the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was working at Healing Reigns and with another volunteer. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I just can't take this weight off and keep it off. And I'm just feeling funkish and sluggish. And my brain, I wonder, am I having dementia? And she goes, have you ever heard of Test Masters? And I'm like, I don't think so. And then she started telling me about SK60. And of course, the first hook was because she had lost like 25 pounds. And she goes, but the information alone is good. And what kept hooking me was that. But then I'm like, but I just don't want to get into a program. I don't want to get into something that I'm getting inundated. But I kept going back to it. And then I did the 7-day kickstart. So it started changing. I saw a photograph of me one time or around that same time. And honest to God, I looked like a tightly wrapped sausage roll.
Oh, I bet you didn't.
I have 4 sizes of clothes in my closet. I'm not buying new ones. I'm not accepting this weight I'm at. And like, if every woman my age looked like this, then I could accept that that's how it is.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get myself to where it's not it. So I looked at this picture. I'm like, oh my God, because I'm like, I filled those clothes out, but not in the way that you wanted to. And I'm like, I have to. So I did the 7-day kickstart, which was like really mind blowing to me in 7 days. I'm like, oh my God, maybe there really is something to this. And I don't have to have packaged food. I don't have to buy somebody's protein powder. I don't have to eat somewhat tasty cardboard just to feel that great.
Yeah, we're not into that in this community.
So it went from it has to be me to do something different to the 7-day kickstart said it could be me. And what
Ooh,
they
I
did with
love that.
Michael is that hot damn it is me. It's me and I with both feet. It's
And so then you just dove into the 60-day because you went, okay, there's
yeah,
really something to
right.
this.
I mean, the hook for me was
Yeah.
I wanted to lose weight, I wanted to feel better, but it's so rippled, expanded. It
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, baby. It's kind of the difference between you want to eat, here's a fish. Okay, you want to eat, let me teach you how.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. Yes. Okay. So Debbie, you were in a similar situation, weren't you? You started with the
I,
Kickstart as well because you had chronic inflammation and you were like,
mhm.
I'm too young to feel this old, right? I feel ancient is
Yeah,
what you said to me.
right. I feel like Sharon and I, our story is so similar.
Mhm.
I've just, well, I found you through my husband. I want everybody to know that
Oh God, we're gonna
he's the
give
one.
Tony some
Yes,
props
he
here.
he's the one that because he knows me. I've tried everything under the sun to lose weight, but I could never maintain anything long term and keep it
Yeah.
off. And I've tried like crazy diets. I've done.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you'd done before.
Oh, well, I've bought all these books and I've done the brain, the grain brain,
Yep.
the I can't even remember all these books. But
You
the
did the
worst thing,
lemon cayenne cleanse thing
yes,
though, didn't
the
you? Yeah, the
worst
master
thing,
cleanse. Yeah.
yes, that's the worst thing I did was that lemon cayenne pepper. And I watched for 2 weeks you do this. And
Whoa.
you take the smooth move tea, you drink lemon, cayenne
Oh,
pepper. I can't remember. I don't think you put honey in it. I can't remember about that. Oh, maple syrup. You use maple syrup to sweeten it.
wow. Yeah.
And I remember I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I ran to the bathroom and I pulled a muscle. And so I finished it. It was painful. And I finished the whole program and I did lose weight, but I could not work out for like a year. That's how
Oh,
bad
you
I
had done some
hurt.
damage to your body.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because I think it was the potassium and the electrolytes. I think
Yeah.
that's what I was
Yeah.
low on. And so I that was crazy. I said I'm never doing this again. And I've done these I've always wanted to eat healthy. So I bought this one book and it was the blood type diet
Yep.
and some of the recipes I made it and it tasted so horrible.
Oh
I was
gosh.
like, you know what, if it doesn't taste good, I'm not eating it. I'm not going to eat it
Yeah.
anymore. So anyways, so Tony knows how I am on this mission to be to lose weight, to stay at a decent, nice size,
And feel
and
good
not
about yourself.
feel good about myself. And then as I got older, the inflammation, I felt like I was 100 years old, and I wasn't. I was like barely 60. I would get up off the couch, and you know how old people they get up and they're all stiff. That
Yeah.
was me. And so I had found you. I had your cookbooks. I'd been using some of your recipes, but nothing like nothing like a meal plan or anything like that. Just I would just get the cookbook out. And so then somehow I came across the I did the 7-day kickstart. I did that, and that worked great. I loved it. Loved the food. I did good on the program, and then life goes on. And I would say about a year later, I that's when I was feeling my worst. And I
Mm.
tried to be a vegan, and with that it was all, thinking that you're going to eat all this processed food.
Yeah.
that is not meat, but it's tastes like meat.
Yeah, it's the worst. And there
It
is a
is.
misconception that being vegan is the only way to be healthy. It's just
Mm-hmm,
simply not true.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I still felt horrible and did not lose any weight. And then I found you. And I've been with you for the last 2 years, and I, I'm so grateful.
Oh, well, we're grateful. We're grateful to have you, and we'll talk about what happened, because it's been extraordinary, and a
Mm-hmm,
great privilege to be a part of it.
mm-hmm,
All three of you are
mm-hmm.
privileged to be part of your journey. So, Jan, your story is a little bit different. So, we met during the
Yeah,
pandemic when you
right,
joined the cooking club, and we would all cook together every Tuesday night, a
right.
different recipe together all over the world. So, tell us about how you entered our world.
Well, I had lost 36 pounds on a prepackaged food diet, and I knew I didn't want to eat that way forever. And I've always eaten healthy, but I just couldn't lose weight doing what I thought was healthy. It just never seemed to move the needle when I was in like my 40s. I would always have like 10 to 20 pounds. And then all of a sudden, menopause, and I had my son passed away when he was 27. And, the stress of that. And I was just like all of a sudden 35 pounds overweight. And I just couldn't get anything to come off. So I decided that I was going to try this other program, and I did, and it worked well. But I just knew I didn't want to continue that forever, and I wasn't having fun with it either. It was like, this is
Mm-hmm.
not a fun way to eat. I want to eat whole food, normal food with my friends, with my family. So I was looking for another way to maintain my weight loss, and the pandemic happened, and um, I got this ad across Facebook about the cooking club. you know, I guess Siri was listening or something, but um, I thought this just sounds too good to be true. And it was just starting. It was just the very beginning, first one and everything. And I was so excited. So I joined it, and like Tess, I know, remembers, I just observed. I loved doing it. It was a Zoom cooking club. We got to cook in our own kitchens with Tess, and all these other people, and you just get to watch everybody and, take it all in
It
and
was so much fun.
learn how to flavor everything. And she told us everything about all the ingredients and the benefits. And it was just amazing. So, I was in there, and several of the people had been in her Skinny 60 program, which I had not heard of that. And so it just kind of got my interest, to hear their stories about the digestive reset and all, and I never had digestive problems. I just, felt pretty normal that way, but I knew that digestive health, the gut brain connection, the probiotics, the microbiome, all of that was such a hot topic. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to give it a try. And oh my gosh, I've been hooked ever since. I think I've done the program, I don't know, 8 times, maybe 9. I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah,
lost
you're
count.
one of our beautiful veterans. You've been in the
Yeah,
program for such a
yeah,
long time now. It's been really
yeah.
lovely. Yeah,
So, and I've
yeah.
maintained my weight loss for 5 years now. So I'm
It's
pretty excited about it. And
incredible.
it's not a
It's
struggle anymore.
incredible.
It used to be, I would just have terrible fear that I was going to gain it back the minute I started eating normal
Mm-hmm.
again, and
Yeah, it's so
now
common.
I'm flexible with when I go out to eat with my friends or my family. I don't stress about, oh my gosh, I can't eat that, or if I want it, I eat it. And I have to tell you, yesterday it was so fun. I went out to eat with lunch with my two good friends from elementary school, and I got to her house, and they both know I've been into this program and everything. So I get to the door, and she gives me a big hug, and she said, so are you still eating that sauerkraut? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I just had my cup of sauerkraut and some
Right?
fermented carrots that I made.
Yes.
And she just laughed, and then she started telling her husband, you might need to talk to her.
Right?
So it was pretty funny. But yeah, so we had a great lunch and I didn't feel the guilt. And, I feel fine today, except I'm a little nervous, but other than that.
Okay, let's talk about this. So many thoughts are going through my head about what you all shared. One of the biggest things that the three of you shared was this joy about food, wanting the food to be delicious and tasty and fun, being able to eat it with your family and friends, not feel the guilt, and just feel in control of what you're doing and for it to be fun, right? And I think there is this misconception that being healthy isn't fun, or to lose weight and get healthy, you have to starve yourself and be restrictive and be stressed about it. And so I want to ask you about how your views about that have changed being in our community, So, Sharen, you talked about, wanting to do something, but not wanting to be on a program. So how has it changed your relationship with food, having that freedom and knowing that you can eat delicious food and eat multiple meals a day and still get incredible results and be healthy?
I do love to eat. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, don't we all, right? Yeah. I think everybody does.
And one of the benefits of being through the SK60 cycle is my taste buds cleared up and I could actually taste food, much more deeply. And it also means I taste the crap when I make pork choices as well, more deeply. But for me, it was about stopping the fighting of myself, stop resisting myself, stop being negative towards myself. And I don't mean like, oh, stop that, slap my hand, don't do that. I just got tired of fighting all the time, or at least, that struggle.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the body I have on this earth walk. Let's just flow into it and accept it as it is, and go forth and let it. I need to befriend my body so my body befriends me. So we're working in conjunction. And one of the things I really liked about the program is that there is that mind, body, spirit. It's all about life, not just this. And I think as that started expanding more and more and going deeper, my my enjoyment of food increased as well, where I could enjoy planning meals, going shopping, prepping food, and as I'm making it, going, "Gosh, this gives me life," which is what I want.
Yeah.
This gives me life, and chewing,
Yeah.
tasting the food, and just as a side note, because I do like to tease Tess about the whole sauerkraut thing. On the routine, I'm like, hell no, I'm not eating sauerkraut, because my experience with sauerkraut was like that smelly, stinky canned stuff. Who would ever put that in their mouth?
Disgusting. Yeah.
And then one time,
I didn't think I could do it either.
and then when
I didn't either. Yeah.
Tess is going, oh, sometimes I drink the juice, and I'm like, oh,
I do.
don't
Oh,
let me.
Okay, dear listener, you're probably thinking that all we do is eat sauerkraut in this community. But they're referring to one of the many strategies that we utilize to improve your gut health and digestion, which is eating some fermented foods. And it could be sauerkraut, kimchi, fermented pickles, kefir, whatever. There's lots of different ways you can do it. But yeah, it's a big joke in the community because we're like, listen, in order to improve your gut health and digestion, can you please eat some more probiotics? And everyone's like, I'm eating my sauerkraut, Tess. It's such a hilarious joke. So, Sharen, I love what you're talking about with this idea of empowering yourself from the inside out. That it's not just about what we put into our body, it's our mindset piece as well. I want to come back to that because I think it's a really important piece of this. I don't want to gloss over that because Sharen is a counselor. just so
Oh.
everybody knows. And she's wonderful. And so she's really in tune with that piece of it. And I want to ask you about that in a minute, Sharon. But Debbie, because Tony had been used to you doing all those crazy diets and, eating weird food that didn't taste good, and then all of a sudden you're making all these delicious things, how has your relationship with food changed over the past couple of years?
Oh, um, I've I've been able to think about what, like, be a mindful eater.
Yeah.
I don't have to be perfect, but at work everybody knows, oh, she eats really healthy. They're always like, because I like the toast, the bruschetta toast.
Mm-hmm.
That just smell, you just open it up and it just like, whoa, it just smells so great. And they're like looking at my plate like, what are you eating? And I'm like, and I just tell them and I share, and they're always so curious about what I eat. And I just, when I sit there and I just kind of watch everybody, what they're eating, not being critical, but I'm just kind of like looking at it, like I wonder how that tastes. And then I'm eating my food and I'm just like, I'm eating it and it tastes so good. But it makes me feel good. And so I just, when I go somewhere, I always kind of think about what can I bring that I can enjoy and still enjoy what everybody else is making, but at least I have something healthy. And I don't even say, oh, this is healthy or this is vegan, or I just say, this is what I made this, it's really good. And everybody, I've never had anything that nobody liked. They've always loved whatever I brought or what I make.
Yeah. I mean, I think
So,
it is about that relaxed approach. This is
mhm,
just what I'm doing. This is what I'm
mhm,
doing. Would you like to have a taste?
mhm.
And leaving it at that, and letting other people do what they do, but
Yeah.
this idea that it's not about guilt and shame and restriction. It's an empowered choice. I'm
I used,
choosing to do this, right? And you know what? Tomorrow you might choose to eat the donut, and that's okay too.
oh, I
It's
had
just
a
about
donut.
balance.
I had one yesterday.
And why not? Right? Because they're delicious. Why
Yeah.
not?
But then I came
Exactly.
home and I had
Exactly.
some fermented vegetables and some beet kvass.
Yeah, yeah. And you just balance it out. You
Yeah,
just do a
yeah,
balance. Yeah. And
right.
I love that picture of you and your grandchildren making cookies. Like we
Mm-hmm.
do that too.
Yeah, yes.
We just do a lot of the good stuff as
Well,
well.
and
It's just all
I
about
sent the
balance.
cookies home with them. I did. I said you could
Yeah.
take these home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And so, Jan, you love to cook. You had been cooking. You've been trying all these different things. What's your journey been like with the flavors? I know that's been a really big part. Going off what
Yeah.
Sharon was saying about my taste buds awakened, and
Yeah.
these flavors. That's been a huge part of this for you. Was just
Well,
going,
mhm.
wow, I can't believe these flavors.
there are some things I just had never experienced before. I just, um, I've never really used a lot of fresh herbs. It's been more the
Yeah.
powder. And so that's been a real eye opener, the thyme, oh my gosh, and um, the rosemary and the mint and all of that. Oh my gosh, I've never really experienced those in fresh form before, and so it just makes everything alive, and then putting lemon juice on all my salads and things like that, or the broccoli or whatever I saute. It just changes everything, and I mean, I never was a cook before. I had probably 5 dishes that I could make really well, and the rest of it was pretty not a wow factor to anything. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sad that my kids didn't experience me being a better cook.
Mhm.
But yeah, so it's been wonderful. I just like to be curious, and I love creativity. So it's allowing me to be a little more creative in the kitchen and plating things up, and it's just more fun, than prepackaged meals. So
Mhm.
Oh yeah, when you said that wasn't sustainable, I mean, who is that? Who's that sustainable for? I
Yeah,
mean, it's got to be joyful. Food is one of
yeah,
the great pleasures
Mhm.
of life. You've got to be
Mhm.
excited about what you eat.
yeah,
So
Mhm.
we talked about your friends, having some kind of jokes and
yeah.
being a bit curious. And I want to ask about your husbands because
Ah,
you all live with these lovely husbands who are very supportive of
mhm.
you and you have good marriages. What's it been like at home when they've been used to you doing things a particular way and being a certain way and watching your journey unfold and many years together? What's that been like in terms of cooking at home with them, where you're not doing one meal for them, one meal for you? How's it been, this sort of integration of, would you like to try some? And, because there's, we do have some limiting beliefs about what our partner is capable of doing and what they'll
Mhm.
be open to. So, Sharon, what's that been like in your
It's been
household?
interesting because he has seen me try all kinds of things, and um, bless his heart, he's like,
Mhm.
just kind of like, okay, how's that going? And then, and
I'll watch from a distance.
especially
Yes,
when
good on you.
I came home with the Bubby's sauerkraut, he goes, "Oh my God, you have changed." You say, but you are eating things like I never saw you eat before. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. So he's really liking it, and so he's very supportive of it. We have a very strong, respectful way towards how each of us wants to eat, and so
Yeah.
it stays open. There's a lot of things he can't try, with seeds and nuts because of some other health conditions, but everything else he
Yes.
will always try.
Yeah.
And he's liked everything. And sometimes he'll go, "Could you make that blah blah blah?" And I'm
Oh, isn't it fabulous when that
like,
happens?
and then he's like, "I saw this left over in the refrigerator. Is it okay if I eat it?" I'm like, "Nope, that's my."
Those posts in the Facebook group are hilarious, aren't they? Where people go, I love that they're wanting to eat it, but dang, there goes my leftovers.
Right.
Yeah. And so now, like once a week or once every 2 weeks, there's like a full cooking day, or pretty much, where
Yeah.
I double everything, fill the freezer and have stuff. And so I think he really looks forward to that because he used to be like, "Oh, but you're in the kitchen, we can't do things." And now he's like, "When you cooking?"
So there's some stuff in there for him. That's great. And he just adds his animal protein or what he wants to do, and you add yours, and you just sit together.
Yeah, we don't try to pull each other off where we're at. But I would
Yeah.
say I invite him into it more than I used to, because
Ooh, I like
it's
that.
just
I
like,
invite
Mhm.
oh,
him
we
in.
both had changed a lot as when humans live together. You kind of go through that anyway. And so I'm like, let me just open this part of me and risk it, because I'm not demanding he eat like me, nor is he demanding that I eat like him. We just
Yeah.
eat and enjoy whatever it is we're eating. Yeah.
Nice. I love it. Debbie, the evolution in your household has been really fun to watch, right?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Tony actually participating in, that picture you posted about him juicing was just
Yes.
fabulous.
Yes. He's he's goes back and forth. I decided that I'm not going to force him to try and eat the way I eat. So
Yeah.
what I do is I do my breakfast and I do my lunch, and dinner I just make it, and then I know what he's going to want. He's going to want whatever protein he wants.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I just make it and I serve him, and he always loves it. And he says 2 weeks I'm going to, cuz he'll tell me, my stomach, if I drink water, it doesn't make me feel good. And I go, cuz you have a bad gut. I said, you need to fix your gut. And so, just things that he says. And I said, Tony, just eat the way I eat and just try it for 2 weeks. And so he's getting a lot better. He's a lot more open to it because I'm still doing it and I still eat it. And I gave him this morning, he didn't feel well. So I gave him some of the beet kvass. And
Yep.
so I'm just trying to just encourage him. But I'm gonna still let him enjoy what he's gonna enjoy.
Yeah, gently, gently.
Hmm.
The other thing too in your household, he had watched you not stick with anything and try
Right.
these things. And
Hmm.
it's been years now. and
Mm-hmm.
you are still taking care of yourself and
Mm-hmm.
having fun, and you're the healthiest you've ever been.
Right.
So there's something just about just being that person
Uh-huh.
that just inspires people gently, gently. Like Sharon was saying, I'll just invite you in just
Yes.
by shining my light,
Perfect.
you
That
know?
was perfect.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He doesn't make it easy, but he, he he's a lot better now than he was 2 years ago.
Yeah. And it is just gently, gently, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want to change other people. That's
Mm-hmm.
their right to live their life the way they
Mm-hmm.
want to live their
Mm-hmm.
lives, right?
Right.
And we can live together and
Mm-hmm.
and exactly the way, that you and Sharon were saying is just
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing my thing and
Mm-hmm.
I'm respecting that you're doing your thing and let's
Mm-hmm.
sit together.
But
So Jan, your story, it's been very fun for me to watch as well because again, there were some limiting beliefs about what your hubby was capable of. And it's been slowly, 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 and it's been pretty incredible to see what has happened. So can you share with us the evolution in your household?
Well, I assumed he wouldn't like anything. I just figured, I'm not even going to ask. And he really was open to most of the vegetables and some of the casseroles and things. He would try them, and he liked them. He really liked the dal, especially the
Oh, yeah, that's a good
yeah.
one.
Um, and then I would do some of the one family, one meal kind of thing and let him dish up his. And he did really well with that. Now, the last several months, I can't say it's been working real well because we've been traveling back and forth because we're building our retirement home. And so he'll be up
Yeah.
there a week at a time. I'll be here. And sometimes I'll go up there, but it's just not as easy because I don't have all the equipment up there. I will
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
take stuff, but it's just easier for me to get something else for him right now. It's just not
So you're
working that well.
adapting.
But yeah,
You're just making it work in
but
the situation.
I
Yeah.
had, assumed that he wouldn't like it, and he really was doing well. He would try things. Now, when I did the cooking club here, I would be done at like 9 or 10 at night, and he's not good at night. He's tired.
Yeah. You don't want to eat then because
Ask him, I say,
cooking
"Do you
club
enjoy
classes
this?"
were
And
at
he's like,
5 p.m.
I'll
Pacific.
try it
Yeah.
tomorrow. And so,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and sometimes tomorrow would come and he would. But for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, when I made the dinners before all the traveling started, he was trying it. So it was my bad that I assumed that he wouldn't like it. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so listener, when Jan was saying the one family, one meal, just to bring you into the conversation with us, we have a one family, one meal philosophy in the program where we've got all these buffet style ideas where you make a base recipe or a base meal and then everybody adds their whatever protein they want to it and you all sit together and it's just a strategy that works really well for kids and partners and elderly parents or whatever
Mm-hmm.
your living situation is. So Sharon, how much better do you feel in your body now? You talked about how you were feeling before you came into the community and made these changes. What have you learned about your body and your needs and what's possible for you in your 60s? How good you can feel in your body now?
I'm going to probably answer that in two ways if you don't mind indulging me just a little bit in that way.
I don't mind at
Okay.
all.
Um, I would say right now I definitely feel way better than I have in the past 30 years. Definitely not as
Wow.
good as what I'm going to feel a year from now.
Oh, isn't that great?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Just gets
Yeah.
better.
So I feel like a light being, both weight
Mm.
wise, spirit wise, everything. It's like, and I think part of it is like just stopping the energy of no longer being an enemy to myself. Food is not my enemy. My body is not my enemy. It's not about me overcoming something. It's about me
Yeah.
becoming who I am within that.
Yep.
And I think that is a huge thing that really gets watered, fed, and nurtured throughout the SK60 cycle is like knowing who you are and being who you are and letting that be as full as it can be. It's just a great way to be nurtured.
Yeah.
So,
Tell me a little bit more about that, because that was a surprise for you, wasn't it?
it was.
Because you come from a counseling background and you know, look, we get this a lot, don't we? People come in thinking it's just a food
Yeah,
program.
Mm-hmm.
right.
I would argue that it's a program about empowerment.
Oh,
Would
totally.
you all agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a surprise for you, wasn't it? Because you thought, I don't want to do a group thing. I just want to do my thing. I'm not going to join a lot of the calls. And that was a surprise for you,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think part of it just had to be open to it. And my friend who first told me about it had said, she made a comment. She goes, "Yeah, those office hours are like some of the best counseling," and I would agree. That is
Mm-hmm.
some of the best counseling I've ever been a part of. When I jokingly said this is my group therapy, it's true, and I think it's made participation in that has made me a better human, and being a better
Mm,
human helps me be better in everything else. And being a better
yes.
human isn't about the perfectionist; it's just about just being me. Yeah.
Yeah. Did the good, better, best, not perfect philosophy of our community that really resonated? Well, it resonates with all of you, doesn't it? I'll ask
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Jan and
the
Debbie
whole
about
like
that in a
the
minute.
whole
That
like
really resonated with you,
and
right?
when you said it, and you said many times, and I hold that so dearly, it's like let it all just be information about yourself. Collect the data. Which,
Yeah.
there's no judgment in collecting data and knowing something. This is how I roll. This is how life rolls. That's
Yeah.
like so much grace and enlivening. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know
Yeah.
if I cut someone off. I didn't mean to.
No, not at all. No, it's great. There's so much guilt and shame that we put around our choices. And the way that we eat is a direct reflection of the way that we feel about ourselves, right? And, you know, we're doing it all day, every day. So it's just such a great, interesting portal into discoverability about why we make the choices that we make. So thank you for sharing so openly on office hours, because it really feeds the conversation and nourishes everybody. A lot of the insights that you share on office hours, and being, you know, really brave in your shares, and listening to everybody else's. Jan, you come to office hours a lot as well. um what were some of the surprises for you in this journey, beyond the food, like Sharon was talking about, just in how you feel about yourself as you age?
Well, part of this, you just encouraged that I, really speak up and speak my truth. And I tell you, if you remember me in the cooking club, I would just stand in the back. I didn't ask questions. I took it all in. And, I've always been one who just wanted to be invisible. I just didn't ever think that what I had to say was important or was, something of value. So I just, was a mouse in the back. And you have brought, you know, something out in me that I want to be better, and I want to speak up, and I want to learn. I mean, I've always wanted to learn. I am in lots of programs on, online that just helps me learn more and more. But, I've also have that, what do I want to say, imposter syndrome, where, like if I try to do something and I don't have enough, credibility because I haven't learned enough, then I don't want to say anything. So, there's part of that too. But I mean, you have just encouraged me so much and made me feel like I'm valued and like I have something to contribute. And, um, that's huge for me. I, there have been so many times, like when I was younger in school, when I remember, if I knew the answer, I'd have my hand up and, I'd raise my hand and just wait and wait and wait. And they wouldn't call on me. Well, then, they asked another question and I didn't know the answer. So I didn't raise my hand and they call on me. It's like, no, that's not right. So there were times when I just wanted to, shrink into the floor. So I've just always been very introverted, and unless I feel confident that I am not going to say something that is stupid or make me feel self-conscious, then I'm not going to say anything. So I really appreciate what you've done for me, because I'm so much different, and it's rolled over into my work life, into my relationships. I just feel so much more confident in trying new things even. So, it just keeps moving me forward. And, here at 66 now, I feel like I can try new things. And in fact, today I'm here because I thought this is an opportunity that I'll never have again. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to take advantage of it. If I mess up, I mess up, and I'll have learned. So your quote.
How can you mess up if you're just showing up as you?
So
You can't mess up because you're just being you, and it's beautiful. And so thank you for your kind words, but you did the work. You kept showing up. You kept showing up for yourself and wanting to learn and grow and stepping out of your comfort zone and being a lion, not a mouse, and teaching me, really, because I'll just share what happened on the cooking club a little, talking about imposter syndrome and feeling insecure. I'm on this call, cooking club, and Jan would just sit there smiling. She looked very pleasant and smiling and cooking away, and I'm literally feeling insecure. She never says anything. She's judging me. She's not having a good time. She thinks I'm a terrible teacher. Why isn't she saying anything? You know what I mean? And her and I just laugh about this now, right? Because she's sitting there going, Tess knows everything. I'm not going to ask anything. She thinks I'm stupid, and I'm going, she thinks I'm a terrible teacher. I mean, this is what we do in life, right?
Yeah,
We just
right.
project these things, right, onto each other. And it's just not true. And we were both having the time of our lives
Right.
in our ways that day,
Right.
and just learning about each other. And, but Jan, what a thrill to just see the opening on all three of you, by the way. I'm just responding to Jan right now, but you did the work, and you're doing the work, and you're just showing up as you and using your voice, and it's spectacular. So thank you for stepping out of your comfort zone and going, yeah, it has to be me today, because otherwise we would all be missing out on hearing and holding the fabulousness of you. All three of you, thank you. Debbie, I want to ask you about this, because I know that you have shared how you felt like your family and friends thought that you were crazy and that you were doing all this silly stuff and that you were ridiculous.
Roll their eyes at me like,
Yeah.
okay, what? Yeah. And then when I would go to visit, okay, so what can you eat? And then it would be like, I said, don't worry about me. I'll figure it out. Just do whatever you're going to do. And I've continued. Now they've just kind of accepted it. In fact, my very good friend, she goes, Debbie, she goes, you have found something that just works for you. And she goes, you are so happy. I've never seen you as happy as you are. And you are relaxed, because before I was so afraid that I was going to get bored, stop doing what I'm doing, and gain the weight, move on to next, like the next thing that's going to work. And I've not done that. I've stuck with it because it's joyful. It's joyful to me. And I love sharing with people, and I just love not making it a big deal about this is healthy. I just they just know that this is what I'm going to do, and they accept it. And they're starting to ask questions.
Yeah. You see, this is interesting, isn't it? When you just shine your light and do what you're doing and give yourself permission to be relentlessly you. Everybody just gets very curious about that.
Yeah, and they're asking about the recipes.
Yeah, you
That's why
posted that in the Facebook group the other day,
that's
didn't you?
why I
Yeah.
was like, am
Yeah.
I allowed to share? Because,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes, share. When we
okay.
have teach, when we
Yeah.
learn share, or when we learn teach and we have share, whatever it is. But I love
Yeah.
that, the Maya Angelou thing. Yeah, it's yeah, look, yeah, I like what Sharon was saying before and what you're saying too, Debbie, about just inviting people in just by
Mm-hmm.
being you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then sometimes actually, deliberately and mindfully saying, would you like to try?
Mm-hmm.
And just allowing people to do what they do and inviting them into what you're doing and
Mm-hmm.
being a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're all talking about this idea about diets, that you had been on a diet, or people think that you're on a diet. I feel like we are the undiet people. You know what I mean? How we're not about dieting.
Thank
This
you.
is not a diet, and that if we just look after our gut health and enjoy beautiful food and mindfully take care of ourselves, and that looks different every day. It doesn't have to be the salad and the sauerkraut. It can be I'm having the donut, or I'm having one cookie with my grandchildren and then I'm sending the rest home. I'm participating and then I'm having something healthy as well, and that we're doing all the things, right? So I want to ask you about that, like the surprise there for you, because this diet culture that we're all ensconced in teaches us that the only way to be skinny, or healthy is to starve ourselves, do dangerous things, expensive procedures, all this ridiculous stuff. And we know that that's simply not true. So tell me a little bit more about that and the change in your thinking around, I don't ever have to diet again now. I don't ever have to be on a diet, and I don't have to be on a program or off a program. I can just choose what I'm going to do today. And it's just a very different way of thinking about that. What's that been like for you, Sharon?
Okay, I'm going to join Jan and go outside my comfort zone for this.
Yeah, please. We love that.
And shortly after we decided what day we were going to record this, I was in my metallic riptide blue car, feeling, and I'm thinking, I wonder, what do I want to share? And
tell everybody about the car, though, so we're all in on that
I
joke.
ended up having to get a car sooner than I expected. And so I was looking at this car, trying to, what's in my budget, yada, yada, yada. And I kept looking at this one car that was blue, only one on the lot. And I'm like, oh, that's calling to me. So we're like, okay. But I was looking at this other car that was more practical. But here in Central Oregon, all cars are black, gray, or white. And so we're like, let's go lunch. And then it's like, oh, I want to go see that blue car. So we go back. And so I drive out. And the one that was practical had all more luxury things. I'm like, that's kind of nice and it's larger. But you know what? I want to be in something that doesn't look like a senior citizen drives it. And I want something that looks the way I feel, which was vibrant. And this is a boom, shiny blue car. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care about those luxury features because I'd be sitting in it going, it's not blue. So I'm like, in my life, I'm choosing this based on the color, because every time I look at it and get in it, I'm like, yeah, baby, here I am.
Yeah.
It's me, I'm happening to life, So that's cool. So after we decided when we were going to record this, I'm in the car. I'm going, oh, what do I want to share? And I kept hearing this beat in my head. So I got to where I was driving, and I sat and I wrote down these things. And so the name of this is 6 for 60 in 60s, meaning 6 verses for Reset 60 in my 60s. My encapsulation of SK60. So I'm not going to look at you when I do this, because I'll start laughing. And 50 Shades of Red, and not my forte, but I'm like, it was so cool because I'm like, you know what? The fun, the excitement, the fun of doing this actually outweighs my anxiety of doing this. So, and I'll tell you right up front that you do have the power to edit. So if this comes across, you know what? She should be really humiliated. Just cut it.
No, we're not editing. We don't edit any of the episodes. Go for it. Come on, let's go. We're up for it. Jan, Debbie, we're in, right?
Right.
Yeah, let's go.
I emailed the two of you to see if you would join me on it, but I was like, no, but if they say no, then I won't do it either. So
come on. I love it. Be relentlessly
All
you.
right, there you go. So you reach the
Yeah.
junction because you malfunction. Now you have the gumption to let go of assumptions. Get off all the yo-yos, throw out all the ho-hos. Got to know your no-nos so you're not laid low. Lose weight or gain weight. You really want to feel great. What will you create to live your best life, mate? Good, better, best. Forget about the rest. No need to be a mess. You just talk it out with Tess.
That was great.
Life be hijacked. You are not in lack. Joy never ages. We're filling up pages, loving all the stages, and joining all you sages. And that's 60.
Oh,
That is like,
please can you send me a copy of that?
That's
And
wonderful.
please will you post that in the Facebook group? Oh,
Hot dang it.
you're
uh,
so creative.
So that's a
yes.
part of it because it's like, it's not just expanding food choices and looking at health, it's expanding life. So it's all these ripples, And one of the things that it made me realize my emotions and feelings are the taste buds of my experience.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, because life is meant to be tasted, and I realize that
Yes.
in the human experience, we have a plethora of emotions. And there's only one emotion that I don't want to swim around in, and that is shame. Blame shame. BS, right? Because it only shrinks the self, or you could say shrinks the soul, shrinks the spirit, shrinks the self. I want to be aware of it, and it's kind of like if I drive across the lane and you get those markers like telling you to get back in your lane, that's the only reason to have an experience of shame.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, come back. I do
Mm,
want to experience
that's
all,
good.
and my taste buds can change, right? We know that in this experience, like, oh, I'm not eating processed food and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
want to taste all of life. And so when I get in my metallic car, when I join those office hours, that is such a nurturance and it's a taste of life. It's kind of like, it's like being like when you replant something and it's growing okay, but it could be better in this soil that really works for it. To me, that's what the SK community has been like, that I did not expect,
Oh.
you know.
Oh, that's beautiful. And the thing about community is when you're around women who elevate and celebrate each other and are just open and wanting to learn and grow, and we're all doing it together, oh, incredible things happen. And so thank you for being a part of that, all of you. It just, we're all holding space for each other together.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're not meant to do any of this alone, life. And when you find good, encouraging people that are just going to hold you no matter where you're at today, and that is definitely what we're all doing for each other every week, is just wanting to learn and grow and be better, no matter what that looks like. Oh man, I couldn't, as I was listening to you rap that, I'm thinking I could not do that. I could not have written that. Like seriously,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going, whoa, she looks crazy. I was going, whoa.
I was
I'm
impressed.
That
so
was really
humbled
good.
and
Yeah.
in awe of this right now,
I
right?
would not
I
have done
mean,
that a month
just
ago. Yeah. And it's like,
wow, 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 wow. So we are just fed lies about aging, that it's
Mm-hmm.
all downhill after the age
Mm-hmm.
of 40, and it's just simply not
Not true.
true, that you can sleep through the night, have energy, feel beautiful and confident and sexy and alive, and your taste buds are on fire and want to try new things. And the three of you are just such spectacular examples of that. So Debbie, what's life feeling for you? What's it feeling for you right now? Like, what are
Right
you
now.
looking forward to? How do you feel in your
Oh,
60s?
I feel actually I'm shocked that I feel so good. I feel better than I did in my 40s. Tony even says I
Oh,
look better than when I was in my 40s. Just because your skin changes, you just
Mhm.
your eyes are clearer. I used to be Visine. I had to use Visine
yeah.
like 2 or 3 times a day,
Mm.
and I don't do that. I don't do it at all. And I physically, I feel so like flexible, where I'm not stiff. I just feel fabulous. And I'm going to Spain next year to do the walk. What is that
The
walk? The
Camino?
Camino?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm
Yes.
doing that. I'm so excited. We're gonna
Ah,
start like full force training. And I fell down again and hurt my other knee.
Uh-oh.
So I'm healing again. This one
yeah,
was
and you
from,
can.
yeah, no, the one that I did at the beginning of the year, that's healed.
Yeah.
This is recent.
Yeah.
So, but I don't care. I know I'm going to be fine. I've been taking care of it, icing it.
You're going to heal. Yeah.
I'm going to heal, and we're going to go to the, we have to, we're in a small town, so we don't have a lot of shops to buy, specialty things. So we're going
Yeah.
to take a road trip to Henderson in Nevada and buy some good shoes, and
Yeah.
get prepared and start training. So I'm super excited about that. So,
Incredible. And Jan, what's going on for you as you build this new, you do this new house at the lake house and you're preparing for your retirement with your beautiful husband? Like, I know that you love clothes and fashion and feeling
Yeah.
like you look so beautiful in everything you're wearing. But
Oh
what's it
gosh.
like for you in your 60s now?
Well, and I know I said this before, but I just feel like I'm just starting to bloom because I am trying new things, doing things I wouldn't have done before. I've found some places up at the lakes. We have a community center that has yoga, and I did go to that the last time I was up there, and had an incredible teacher. Oh my gosh! So I did that, and then I've started some other things online that I am really interested in. Just reading, just learning to read faster and better comprehension, and just try to do that. And then um, I just have I'm participating in a lot of different things, so I'm really excited to just try all these new things.
Uh,
And then
you're
I'm just
sucking the
pushing,
marrow out of everything.
and I'm pushing myself to exercise more. I got a new rebounder at the lake, so I want
Yeah.
to do that. And then and I have like oh, I can't think of the word now, for not collagen, but what I want to say that you just had the podcast about
Oh, the infrared
yeah,
or
no, not
the fascia, the
the
foam
fascia.
roller.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have the
Yeah.
fascia blaster. I've
Yeah.
had that for
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
With
had that
Lauren.
for a
Yeah.
couple of years, and I have not used it. So now I'm motivated to use it,
so what is that?
and the red light therapy. I've got one of those masks, so I'm
Yeah,
just
Jan,
I'm not going to go
Debbie's
down without a
asking about
fight.
your fascia thing.
Yeah.
Debbie's asking about your fascia thing.
Well, it's a metal piece with these fingers on it, and you rub your face or your muscles, and it kind of breaks up the fascia so that
Oh,
and it stimulates collagen. So it's just supposed to help you increase your collagen. So
okay.
We
I'm
love
reading about as
fascia
many things as
conversations
I
with
can, and
Lauren.
I'm trying it all because I'm not going to go down without a fight.
Right?
Oh, we are not going down without a fight, ladies. Like, we are just going to be relentlessly us as we age, and there is nothing that we can't do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's such a beautiful message. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. It's like I said before, it's just you just shining your light and showing what life can be like in your 60s it's so exciting, that
Mm-hmm.
you can have a full life and be active and vibrant and be doing anything that you want to do, as you age. And I just cannot wait to see what you're all going to do. So I always close every episode with the same question. So within the context of our conversation today, I want to ask you this. For somebody listening right now who thinks, I'm getting older, I guess this is just the way that it has to be, and it's all downhill from here. and has a dream in their heart or many dreams, we've all got lots of dreams, and doesn't feel like they have what it takes to make it happen, isn't taking advantage of their "it has to be me," what would you say to them?
I would say you're not over the hill. You just have a better view of the landscape than you did before, and not as what
Ooh,
you're going to have later. You know, that's and
yeah,
explore. Life is life.
yeah.
Me?
What'd you say, Debbie? Yeah.
Oh, I would say I thought that that's just the way life was, that I was going to be miserable, that I was like, I thought this is what it was. And it's not. It's not. You just keep, you can just heal your body with food and nutrition and a community to support you.
Yeah.
And it's not the end of it. It's it's all a lie what they think.
Yeah. Jan?
I would say that every moment is an opportunity to make a change and just take
Yeah.
advantage of every moment to make the next better choice. Um,
Mhm.
you can, if you don't want to do Skinny 60, or I think one of the best things would be to watch the success stories on the Skinny 60 website and just see what people have achieved on there, because they are so motivating. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And
Mhm.
if you read some of those, you'll get some hope, because they are incredible. And if you can't do or won't do Skinny 60, then get a buddy, get somebody who wants to get healthy with you. And if you want it, make recipes together, batch cook, make some recipes, fill your freezer, and just start. You just have to, the starting is the hardest part.
Mhm.
You know, the other thing is,
Yeah. And finding buddies, I think that's really important, right?
Mhm.
Is getting help, just asking for help. Do you want to do this with me?
Mhm.
Or this is what I want to do, and getting reaching out for help, like it can be very, very lonely. Trying to make changes can be very, very scary, very lonely, particularly if the other people in your life don't want to make them.
Mhm.
You've all spoken about this,
Mhm.
about how you were really trying to do something, and there was that aspect of it, so
not to
yeah,
add one,
that they're all such important
and add one,
points, but thank you so much for stepping out of your comfort zone and saying it has to be me to share my story
Mhm.
today, because I know this did not come easily for the three of you, and I do not take it for granted that you chose to join me today and have this conversation and be so open about sharing your stories. And people want to hear what you have to say.
I got one more.
And certainly after our beautiful conversation today, listener, I bet you agree, right?
Mhm.
People want to hear what you have to say. So keep using your voice and asking for what you need. Yeah. Sharon, do you
Yeah,
want to say something? I saw
when
you.
I was listening to Dan, it struck me. You know, you can't begin a new chapter by rereading the old chapter. And I
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
the thing is really having a sense of adventure and exploration. And I remember I broke my ankle 3 times, right ankles, and I was in my 30s. And I remember the doctor saying, you know, in 5 years you're going to have arthritis in that ankle. And I remember the moment, the exact moment inside myself. I'm like, oh no, I'm not. And 30 years later, I don't have arthritis. So there is that thing,
Mhm.
you know, you put it forth
Yeah.
there's like, but I can have my own chapter, my glory days right now, not behind me.
Yes.
You know, I might have more timeline behind me, but the depth of it, it's deeper and deeper. And I own that.
Mhm.
I'm not going to give that to anyone else to determine for me. I will write my own chapter.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yes. You know, Yeah, there's something about when you talk about the depth, there's something about your relationship with self and your understanding of yourself and you holding who you are and your power as a woman that it only happens after 50. That actually there is a depth to your journey that can only happen as you age,
Mm-hmm.
and really holding that with the care and the attention and the respect and the joy that it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
The incredible power of being an older woman and all of the knowledge that we have and the life experience, and that just cannot be replaced by any cream or any youth serum or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seriously. And so, there's a power of women coming together and celebrating each other and being in community that we all experience every week in our community. So, thank you so much for being a part of that and holding that space with
Mm-hmm.
me. I'm so grateful to all of you.
Thank you. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to do this with you, because it, it feels so good to have done it and to prove to ourselves that we could do it. And,
Oh,
just, it's just great. So,
yeah. Oh gosh, you are so welcome. And opportunities just hang out there unless you seize them, right? And that's what all three of you did. I asked you, knowing that, and that you could have said no, that you could have gone, no, I don't want to do this. And all three of you went, no, it has to be me. And then the opportunity became an incredible lesson. But otherwise, it's just an opportunity that's hanging out there. So thank you for seizing it and going, it has to be me. So, yes, I love you. Aren't they spectacular? I just want to honor the courage and generosity of spirit that it took each of them to stand up and go, it has to be me to be on this podcast. They had never done anything like this and they were utterly terrified. And it's just testament to their opening, deciding in their 60s that this is going to be the best years of my life. You can feel alive and vibrant as you age. When they talked about, I'm too young to feel this old, and they stepped up and they did something about it and empowered themselves with better food and lifestyle choices and the ripple effect that that's had on the rest of their lives. When you start making better choices about your health, you want to make better choices in every part of your life. That dieting is not the way to expand into things. It's restrictive, it's limiting. They all talked about how they wanted to be healthy, but they needed it to be fun, that you can get healthy and enjoy beautiful food with family and friends. You can have a joyful relationship with food. You don't have to stress about what you eat. You don't have to struggle. All of them had some extraordinary wisdom to share. When Sharen said, you're not over the hill as you age, you've just got a better view of the landscape. It's not about overcoming, it's about becoming who you want to be, knowing who you are and being as full as you can be in that experience. That being a better human makes you better at everything in your life. It's not just about expanding the food and health choices, it's about expanding life. When she said life is meant to be tasted, that really resonated with me, and that my emotions and my feelings are the taste buds of my experience, and I will write my next chapter. Nobody else gets to write it for me. And just gently collecting the data, let it just all be information, right? And when she did that rap song, I was humbled because I thought to myself, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, it was just inspiring. And Debbie, learning that healthy living doesn't have to be extreme. That her whole life opened up when she let go of those fad diets and those extreme approaches and the constant dieting, that her health improved. She stopped starving herself and doing damage to her body and started nourishing herself with delicious food that she could share with family and friends. And she started having more fun and was happier. It was so lovely when her friend said to her, you're the happiest you've ever been, and her husband saying, you look younger than you did in your 40s. right? And that she can bake cookies with her grandchildren, then go and eat a salad. It's just about that balance, right? That she's empowering herself to make choices and make whatever choices. She said, I ate a donut yesterday. Why not? Right? And then today she's going to eat some more vegetables, right? That it's not either or, it's everything together, and you get to choose. And when Jan said at 66, I'm just starting to bloom, just so beautiful that she's allowing herself to continue to learn and grow and sucking the marrow out of everything that she's interested in, taking classes, learning new things. And that the food and lifestyle choices and being in the community has really empowered her to use her voice. The people want to hear what she has to say, being a lion, not a mouse, right? Speaking up, even if she doesn't have all the answers, right? It doesn't matter, right? Asking for what she wants, giving herself permission to step out of her comfort zone and try anything and everything that her heart leads her to. When she said every moment is an opportunity to change and that the possibilities are endless, that's where the magic is, right? Giving yourself permission to be relentlessly you and inviting other people to participate in it, right? The depth of the relationship that you have with self and the knowing that only comes after the age of 50 is an extraordinary journey to be cherished. Take it by the balls and squeeze it for everything it's worth, right? And just have fun with this one life that you're given. It all starts with better health, being strong and living in a body that can keep up with your dreams. So if you want to join our community, we would love to have you. You can learn more at ithastobeme.com/reset. And I would love to hear what resonated with you from this conversation and how these women have inspired you. So please join our community and share with me.
I want to hear about your It Has To Be Me story. So head on over to ithastobeme.com/stories to share it in our free community. You can also join the conversations we're having about this episode and others. I'm Tess Masters. Join me next week and we'll dive inside another great story to help us go from dreaming to doing.